What are the wounding childhood messages of all 9 Enneagram types? The first one, it's not okay to make mistakes. The second one, it's not okay to have your own needs. The third one, it's not okay to have your own feelings and identity. The fourth one, it's not okay to be too functional or too happy. The fifth one, it's not okay to be too comfortable. The sixth one, it's not okay to trust yourself. The seventh one, it's not okay to depend on anyone for anything. The eighth one, it's not okay to trust others or be vulnerable. And the ninth one, it's not okay to assert yourself. And today, we're going over the type 6s. It's not okay to trust yourself. If you're new here, I'm Hillary. I run Enneagram and coaching, and I love to teach you guys the Enneagram in the simplest way possible so that you can use it in your everyday life with yourself and your relationships. All right, so before we get into that wounding childhood message of the type 6, I want to talk about who is that Enneagram type 6. You would probably know them as a very faithful person, loyal person, courageous person. Names I've heard them identified by is loyalist, the loyal skeptic, the loyal guardian, even the inquirer. I've heard all those names associated with the type 6. And what is the core desire of the 6, which is what they're running towards? You know, it's a motivation that they're always going towards. Safety and security. The 6 seeks support and reassurance from other people. They want to feel safe and secure and have a sense of belonging. What is the core fear of the 6, which is what they're running from? It's the fear, it's, what they're running away from. Not having support, not feeling secure, not being able to survive on their own. They're afraid that they wouldn't be able to. They fear being abandoned and left on their own. And then what is the core weakness of the 6? For the 6, this means that they're always looking around and scanning the horizon for what could go wrong and then trying to prevent it. Okay, so that was a little bit about the 6. Let's move on to the childhood pattern. What did the 6 look like as a child? I would say the 6 was probably very trusting of their protective figures, more than likely connected to both parents or whoever was raising them. The world to the 6 might have felt like an unreliable, dangerous place at times, which is what caused them to constantly plan for what could go wrong. They more than likely had a hard time trusting themselves and their own decisions, and so they would seek out guidance from the people that they trusted. And the last thing I would say is they probably did try and make decisions, but maybe those decisions didn't go right or were wrong, or they were told that they were wrong, or something caused them to feel like, oh man, I can't trust myself, I can't trust my voice, and they couldn't trust their own decisions. Okay, so moving on to the reason why you clicked on this, which is the wounding childhood message of the 6. It's not okay to trust yourself. And I would say this translates to never be too sure of yourself. When the type 6 was a child, this is probably the constant message replaying over and over in their head. And this message was usually either directly communicated to them or maybe even indirectly communicated to them. This is the filter that they saw the world through. So even if somebody wasn't saying like, oh, you're wrong or don't trust your own decisions or whatever, they might have indirectly picked that up and realized like, oh, I don't think it's okay to trust myself. And who are the people that might have been the ones like directly communicating this? Yes, we say parents, but it might not have been a parent. It might have been just an authority figure, friendships, schools, whatever. We don't always want to say, oh, the parents must have did this. That's not necessarily the case. You just never know where they're picking up this message. And again, it's an unconscious wounding childhood message that when things would happen, they just would say, okay, I can't trust myself then. That was their default. And that's how they learned to keep themselves safe, is to trust other people, to ask other people their opinions and their thoughts, and either make sure it aligned with their own or to just follow what the other person said. They would have been the child that probably was, looking around and picking up cues and the cues were telling them, like I said, it's not okay to trust yourself. I just think of the 6th child, and when they made decisions, if it didn't go right, it just further justified what they already thought and believed, which is, I need to run all my decisions past somebody. It's just not okay to trust myself. And everyone has their own unconscious wounding childhood message. This is just the 6s, but we all just have these filters that we see and experience the world through. And a lot of times we develop these when we're a kid. And this is why, like, even if you were siblings, you and you're not the same type, you guys might have been given the same message, but it would have affected one way more than the other, because that wouldn't have been the filter the other sibling is seeing the world through. And so just to like clarify that a little more. And so the last thing is, what is the lost childhood message of the type 6? And it is, you are safe. You are safe. It's the core longing of the 6. It's what they would have needed to hear when they were younger. You're safe. You could trust yourself. You know, you made a good decision, different things like that. And the reason why I teach this now is because a lot of times what we decided as children, we carry into adulthood. And I would love to see people realize that these little decisions we made when we were younger no longer are applicable as we're older, and that for a 6, if you are a 6, it's okay to trust yourself. It's okay to trust your own thoughts and opinions and make decisions. It is okay. Yes, things still might go wrong, but that doesn't mean you can't trust yourself. So just a little information about that, about, you know, not taking what we learned as children into our adult years. And if we have, releasing it, working on it. And how do we do that? We got to unlearn. We got to unlearn these things that we put into practice, right? We have to unlearn that it's not okay to trust yourself. Make decisions, maybe small ones, but make decisions. Start letting yourself know again, like, okay, I can trust myself. I am going to make this decision, and I'm going to stand by it. And, you know, take little baby steps forward of trusting yourself. And another way to learn to trust yourself is based on, you know, existing evidence. Look back in your life. You know, there's times where you did make a decision and it did go right. I need you to look for those times too. Don't default and always think of the things that didn't go right. Think of the things that went, the things that didn't go right. Think of, or went wrong, but think of the things that went right. Use logic, use existing evidence of, you know, times in your life where you did trust yourself, and no matter the outcome, it was okay. And like I said, practice small steps. Tell yourself that you do have the inner resources needed to navigate through hard things. Even if something bad happens, you have the resources to navigate it now. The last thing I would say is journal. I'm probably going to tell all 9 types to journal because I believe in journaling. I think it's so good to write things down. For you, write down ways that you did trust yourself and good things that did happen. And, you know, throughout the day, notice those things. But yeah, that's all I have. That's the wounding childhood message of the Enneagram Type 6. And if you want more information about the 6, I've left you wanting more, you want to learn more about yourself, I have a bunch of videos. I'll link this one, and this one down below in the description so that you can find it fast and click on it and go learn more about the Enneagram Type 6. But that's all I have for today, guys. So if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. And subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, bye guys.